Today's episode is all about solving problems. How big is your problem? No bragging now. Hi, I'm Marcus Freed. Welcome to Marcus Recommends. This is where we share great ideas and celebrate life. It's unscripted, unrehearsed, but not unplanned. Coming to you live from the studio here in Los Angeles. It's been a while since my last video. I've missed you. Now I'm back. Hello. And today I want to share with you a three-part plan on how to solve problems. And this, if you follow this, it's really going to help you supercharge your way of getting through the biggest challenges currently facing your business at the moment. The whole thing is about words. It's about how words create worlds. There is a biblical story, an example of someone called a Metzorah. Now this Metzorah is someone who's suffering from a form of skin disease. They have a lesion on their skin, a big spot, and it's connected, so the traditions teach, so the mystical wisdom teaches, is connected to the words they're using. They've generally been speaking negatively about other people, using really negative words. And as it happened, this Metzorah, this tzara'at, this problem, this lesion, it could actually also show up in their house. It could show up as a spot on their wall, as some kind of almost like a decorating problem, a big, ugly, nasty mark on the wall. So what they had to do is they had to look at their words, they had to make a sacrifice, really give something over, change something substantially, and that was the only way to heal it. So my question is, where in your life is there some kind of contemporary equivalent, some kind of problem? It could be showing up in your business in form of not having enough customers, not having enough cash flow, something isn't quite working, maybe there are problems between staff members or problems with your suppliers. And here is the plan. Point number one is identify exactly where the problem is and then begin looking at the words you are using. So point number two is, what are the external words you are using? How are you describing things? One phrase I often hear from clients and from other people in the trade is, the economy sucks, the economy is awful. This may be true in some sense, but there are many millionaires who've made their money through downturns in the economy. People who've been successful when there haven't been many resources that have been obvious on the surface level. So it's really what you make of it. But for the purposes of today, what I want you to really think about is, where are you using negative words externally? What are you describing as external? It could be, oh, my clients are difficult, or my boss is difficult, or the suppliers are being difficult, or the economy sucks, as they say locally. The economy is rubbish. What is it you are creating? And if you think for a second about what these words can actually do, imagine when you say, let's say the economy is bad, that you've suddenly created this thing, the bad economy, as an idea. It's hanging there in the air. And then the next time you say something negative, it goes and feeds that, so it's a little bit larger. And then the next time it becomes larger still. And every time you say these words, it really solidifies and creates these words. I'll give you an example how this really is true. Think of a relationship you're in that has been going well, or it could be a family relationship, romantic relationship. When you've told someone else you love them and you've said positive things to the other person, think about what that's done for the relationship. They may do more things for you. The more you say that you love them, the stronger the connection becomes, and it grows and grows and grows. Conversely, what about the other side? When you say to someone negative stuff, that you do not love them, or something a little bit harsher than that, a little bit more harif, a bit more spicy. Think about how it builds something negative. So we can build something negative or positive depending on what we choose. But when you speak, you are going to be creating something. You've got no choice. That's the nature of words. You're going to be creating something. So look at how your problem, identify it back to your initial problem. Maybe it's not enough clients currently in your business. Think about how you've been using words which are actually feeding something negative. You could be saying, oh, it's difficult to get new clients, or it's hard to promote my product, or I'm not really a business person. All these kinds of negative things. So the next point, we've looked at the external words. The next point is the internal words. Now, what are the internal words you are using that are not positive? The internal negative words. For example, you might think, oh, I'm not so good at this, or I'm lacking confidence, or are they really going to like me, or am I going to be okay at this? Now, the reason I'm sharing this with you is because this is all stuff I've been through in the past and I had to work through, because it's like an internal anchor just stopping your ship from actually floating. And it definitely takes work. And within the auspices of this video, we can't cover everything, but at least begin by identifying it. Just beginning to see, where are you speaking negatively to yourself or about yourself? Could be that you're speaking negatively about yourself to other people. That's in the external. But I really want to think about this internal communication. Are you having doubts deep in your heart? Or it could be really in your consciousness. Try and think about these negative internal communications. And once you've identified what they are, then you can begin to change them. Then you can begin to say, right, I need to be speaking differently. I need to be speaking in a positive manner. I need to start creating something positive. A friend of mine who's a coach, he talks about affirmations in front of the mirror. Stand in front of the mirror and say, I love you. I love you, Marcus. I love you, Marcus. Now, I'm not suggesting that you stand in front of the mirror and say, I love you, Marcus, but whatever works for you. Take your own equivalent. So this is his practice, actually really speaking that sense of affirmation. But either way, to really try and develop a form of self-love and actually finding that internal peace is going to make a difference. Because again, if you're feeding yourself negative internal words, if you're putting yourself down, and of course it's going to show up on the outside. Of course clients aren't going to be as attracted to you if you're dragging yourself down. You know, you think of, I don't know if you've been to a bar or been to a party last time you were in a position to meet someone in a romantic sense. Were you drawn to someone who is continually putting themselves down, who is continually on this downward slant? No, of course, you want someone who's going to be confident, who's going to be attracted to themselves and attractive to other people. So same goes when you're speaking with clients and potential clients. And finally, the biggest category of all, the biggest category, and this takes us back to our biblical example of the Metzorah, the person who's got this sort of like spiritual, physical malaise, these skin lesions that come from speaking. What are the negative words you use about others? If number one was the external words, number two is the internal words, number three is the reporting words. What are you saying negatively about other people? Here is one of the many problems there, and there are many books written about this. But one of the problems is, let's say you put down a friend or you put down a competitor, if you speak negatively about them. Your mind, you have to hear it. If it comes out of your mouth, it goes into your ears as well. You're going to hear it too. And if you speak about that as other people, then you're going to be thinking that other people are going to be saying things like that about you. By having those judgments, my martial arts teacher Eric talks about how judgment is a poison. Judgment is an absolute poison. By judging other people, you are judging yourself. If you think of someone who you know who is a gossip, you think about how they put down other people, well, how happy really are they? Have you ever met someone who's a pure gossip and is deeply happy? I'm not talking about on the surface, I'm talking about below those layers of makeup. It doesn't help create anything positive. Often if you have something negative to say, then maybe it's better to hold off unless it's a specific reason. So you're trying to warn someone, for example, not to go down a perilous business route. So we think about our external words, we try and heal those. We think about our internal words, how we're speaking negatively about ourselves, and we think about our reporting words, how we can be speaking negatively about others. Once you've done all of this work, when you can really refine this quality within yourself about how your words can create worlds, then you can begin really healing a problem which is on the outside. The nature of reality is that external problems are really manifestations of internal issues that are going on. We create the world. If we can work on ourselves on the inside, we really can create something incredibly transformational on the outside. I wish you huge success with this. I hope you can get some terrific results. If you've got any questions or comments, you can put them in the comment box below. If you're interested in reading more, head on over to Amazon and you can check out my book, The Kosher Sutras, under my name. And I look forward to you coming back to see some more videos. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, whichever one these buttons are in. I'm Marcus Fried. Thank you very much for watching. Have a terrific day. Be well, be happy, stay happy, and celebrate life.